Jenny.
I'm not crazy, by the way. We're
all not crazy, by the way.
I can't believe we're saying this out loud, but we're going to meet Seunghan.
So, a little backstory. We're on the way right now. It's happening in 45 minutes.
No, this check-in is 45 minutes.
Anyway, so it's happening very soon. Long story short, Seunghan announced that he was coming to LA to do a fan sign, and all you have to do is purchase albums and you get entered into a raffle. So we did that, all 3 of us entered, and unfortunately only 2 of us won. But you know, that's still a very good odd, 2 out of 3, and we'll take what we can get. So these 2 are gonna be on their way. I'm the chauffeur today.
Oh, so excited! I think we bought a total of like...
Let's not reveal the number.
Okay, we're not gonna reveal how many albums we bought. It wasn't that bad though, I think. I never thought this day would come. You know, I never even thought we'd be able to see him in real life in LA. So this is pretty crazy, pretty excited. I'm pretty nervous, so yeah. And then, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, very nervous. I'm scared and jittery, and yeah, I don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, we were practicing all night. I obviously was acting as Seunghan, and then they were just practicing their 1 minute. You know, they each get 1 minute, and you know, 1 minute can go by really fast and it can also go by really slow.
Yeah.
So just trying to figure out how to say what they wanted to say.
I've been practicing, you know, in the shower or just like when I'm getting ready, just randomly practicing when I can. But oh my god, I'm so nervous because sometimes I talk too fast and then I'm scared the minute I'll talk too fast and then I'll just sit there and we'll be staring at each other. Then it'll be awkward. It's gonna be randomized, the seating, so hopefully we'll be pretty close to each other in terms of the order, or else it'll be kind of awkward sitting with people. But we won't be able to record the fan sign itself, us talking to him. Maybe just like a photo time.
Here's my letter. Here's my letter.
So cute.
From Zeny. Yeah, and I drew this little thing of Xnghan because he likes Xnghan, and I drew it as his concept photo.
This is mine. Drew a little Xnghan and a Kuromi, and there's a little sticker of him.
OG fans know, but first vlog of the Z Squad, like near the end, we go to an ad, right? And Zina cries because she, you know, is emotional. And guess who that dude is? Seunghan. So,
So we're gonna be
yeah, it's a full circle moment.
Yeah.
My number is 26.
I'm 45, so we're like 20 people apart.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go first.
Poses you want, anything you want.
We just finished eating. It was too loud in there to film anything. So we're finally gonna talk about our fan sign experience.
They all went upstairs somewhere, so I was just sitting in the lobby of this hotel for like 3 hours. I have no idea what went on. So this is my raw. This is my raw reaction.
My raw. Okay, you wanna go first?
I'll tell my story or my experience first. So we checked in, and then you grab a wristband with a number on it randomly, and then I got the number 26, and then Zena got 45, right?
Yeah.
So we got separated immediately, and then we gave the letters to like the staff, and then we were seated down, and then we had time to like take pictures and all that. So when it was finally my turn, I was like super nervous, and I was like, oh my gosh. So let me like tell you what happened. So it kind of went exactly how it was like in my head was gonna go. So I was just like, hi Seunghan. I was like, hi. Well, I kind of made it too formal at first because I sat down and I was like, my name is Zeny. I was like, why am I saying that? I was like, I was just supposed to say I'm Zeny, blah blah blah. But then I was like, my name is Zeny. I was like, what the freak? And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna move on. And then he's like, oh, Zeny, okay. And then I think he was like writing it. So I was just like, I just want to say congrats on your debut. Also, the translator is right next to me, like sitting right next to me. So it's like she's like saying it right after I say it. So it's kind of like a lot of things happening. So I was like, congrats on your debut. I saw your shows, and you know you did so well. Your songs are so good, and your voice is so good. And then he was just like, oh, thank you. I was like, he was just like, I was like, I have a question. So in the future for your albums, like, what concept would you want to try? He was like thinking a little bit. He was like, maybe hip hop and R&B. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, that would suit you. I was like, would you ever want to try a ballad? And then I don't think he understood. The translator also didn't understand. So I was like, ballad song, you know. And then she was like, yeah, ballad, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know if you would, but like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, maybe in the future. I was like, okay. And then like, I guess like I don't know. I think there's a lot more time than I thought, or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I timed it perfectly or not, because yeah, I already started like closing up. So I was like, yeah, I just want to say, you know, I'm so proud of you, and you know, you are so hardworking, and fans are so inspired by you and how you're like able to chase your dreams. And yeah, so I was just like, yeah, so like thank you for debuting. I was trying to like make it longer. Thank you for debuting and what? Thank you for debuting and what?
Debuting.
Is that not how you say it?
Silence. Debuting.
Debuting? It's not debuting? Debuting. Oh shoot.
You said debuting?
Whatever.
So I think it's it.
Thank you for debuting and and what did I say? Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I hope you like stay safe, stay healthy. Yeah, like I don't even know what I was saying. And then I swear that guy said something, and then it was like silent, and we were just like, and then he was like, it kind of looked like he was like, yeah, basically. And then yeah, it was silent. And I looked at the guy, and he's like, yeah, time's up. And I was like, okay, because I swore I heard him say that, so that's why I was like, I stopped it. But then it was like, they didn't say anything, so I was like, well, what the heck? So yeah, we were just like, and I was like, okay. I was like, thank you, bye. And then he's like, thank you. And then he's like, wait. Yeah, that was my story. Yeah. Okay, your turn.
Yeah, I was near the end, so I was waiting. I was just watching, getting nervous, just enjoying, you know, the view. It was my turn to go up, I think. So eventually, I'm next in line, and it was crazy because I was literally shaking. My leg, like, could not stop tapping, and I was like, get a grip. I was standing there and looking at him. I think the girl asked him a question, and he was kind of pondering in thought, and while he was thinking, he looked over at me, and I was like, oh!
Wait,
like, yeah, I got scared because I was like, well, I was staring at him. I wasn't expecting him to like kind of randomly make eye contact for 1 second. So I was like, ah! Yeah, and then I got scared and I looked away so fast because, you know, I got shocked. So now it's my turn. So I walked over and I'm like, hi Seunghan, I'm Zena. And he's like, oh, Gina. And then the moment I sat down and looked at him, my brain completely blanked. Everything that I was rehearsing the whole time, I was like, I forgot. I just stood there and I looked at him. I was like, hi.
You said hi again?
No, I was like, hi. And he's like, hi, Gina, you know. And he was like, how are you? And I was like, good, how are you? And then I was like, what am I doing? You have things to say, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm good, how are you? You know, get a grip. But it was nice that he initiated it first, because I was so nervous, and I was just staring at him, and I was like, you know, it's like that TikTok audio, you know, the blah, 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 you know, that's what I felt like. I was like, you look so beautiful today, and then he was like, oh, I don't know, he just like laughed a little.
I forgot I said that too.
And then I said, oh, did you know we're actually the same age? I was also born in 2003. He made very good eye contact throughout the whole thing, like he's listening, just kind of looking at you. The translator was like, you know, translating, and then he was like, oh, and he gave me a fist bump. He literally went, because he was waiting, he was listening to translation, he was like, oh, and then he went like, yeah, he just put his fist out, so I was like, okay, like, yes, okay. So then, yeah, I fist bumped him, and then I said, do you think you would ever make a character plush? And then he was like, he like thought about it a little bit, he's like, maybe. I went on a little paragraph about, I was like, oh, like, thank you for coming back, I'm so proud of you. And the lady was translating really fast. She was translating in real time while I was saying it. And then I said, yeah, I waited a really long time. I even visited your Subway ad in Korea. When I said that part, I stopped for a second because he like looked pretty interested, I guess, like what was happening. So she translated it, and she was like something about like the Subway. And then he said something to her, and he was like, oh, something like, oh, okay, I don't know, because it's Korean. But something, I think he was like, oh, wait, really? Like, oh, the Subway ad? Like, that's pretty cool. Something, I don't know, something like that. Like, he was like surprised by the Subway ad. Us going there. So I was like, ah! Okay, I just said, yeah, I'll always support you. I'm your #1 fan. Please always be happy and healthy. And this part, I don't think she really translated because, you know, pretty straightforward. I just said, I love you so much. Like, oh, man. Yeah, and then I just said, yeah, thank you so much. And then I kind of had a feeling that I had a little bit more time because the guy didn't say anything yet. And because, you know, I am a very introverted and shy person, so during the video time, I'm not really the type of person to be like, do this pose, you know, because it's embarrassing. Oh, well, I think it's embarrassing, and I don't want to yell at him and he doesn't know what I'm saying. So I said, later on for the picture time, do you think you could puff up your cheeks into this pose? And I don't know what I was doing because like I randomly put my finger like on my cheek like this. and then
You did it to him?
yeah. Not the hang of the soup. No, oh my god, get ripped. The lady was like a little bit confused at first, and she's like, I think she just said during photo time she wants you to do this pose or something like that. And then he looks at me confused, and he's like he like made the little like head tilt, and then he just copied what I did. He did it with one cheek. He was like, and then he was like, okay. He's like, okay. And then yeah, then I said thank you, like I love you, and then I said bye, right? He gave me the outfit, and then when I said I love you, he's like, yeah, me too. Yeah. So he glitched a little bit, I don't know, but anyway, he was like me too. And then you know, I was trying, like, you know, and then when I went back, I was like, yeah, you know, and then yeah, everyone around me was like, oh my god, that fist bump! And I was like, I know. And then they were like, what did you say to get that fist bump? And I was like, I just said we're the same age.
I was watching, and then yeah, I'm pretty sure people around were like kind of like, what? Like, well, I think the people in the front, like,
really?
actually saw it, but yeah, I couldn't tell if they were like, but it's like, what? Like, yeah, because I was watching everybody go pretty much, you know, and yeah, I didn't see him like initiate, you know, or like,
yeah, it's true.
Because, you know, you're not supposed to touch anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But he initiated.
Yeah, he initiated. And then during the capture, the photo time, phones aren't allowed throughout the fan sign or when he's doing the questions and stuff. The only time you're allowed to take your phone out is when a designated photo, video capture time. So he's just gonna do like poses, whatever people shout at, and then you can film and take pictures then. That's the only time you can do it. And that's at the very end, right before he leaves. They were like, okay, you can bring your phones out. They just said, yeah, just yell out whatever poses. The girl next to me, I guess when it was her turn, she said, during the picture time, can you do aegyo but look at the back? Yeah, I think he did one pose. I think it was the cat pose or something, the cat ears. And then she went for it and she screamed like aegyo. And then the first pose he did, guess what he did? And I was like, I was like, you know, and then he did it with two fingers though. Well, actually, he was like really embarrassed, and he's like, no, not the aegyo, you know. And then they did a bunch of other poses, and then he did it again, but this time he did exactly what he showed me with one hand and one side of the cheek. And he did it again, so I was like, what, again? And then at the end, I don't know, or someone screamed something else, like, or he was like, what else? And then like I think he was thinking, and maybe I don't know if he like remembered that he promised that he was gonna do it, I don't know. But he did it again, so he did it 3 times in total. 3 times that pose. So yeah, I win.
Said here, damn.
Yeah, he's like, okay, ask and you shall receive. Yeah, so that was so crazy. Pictures don't do him justice. He looks so good in real life. He has like a very cool style, kind of what the vibe that he gives off in his concept photos and everything. Very cool style. He listened really well to everyone. He was very attentive. Yes, listening and attentive and responding and like nodding along and just kind of like even just like, oh, okay, yeah, you know. My fan sign wasn't really until the end of the batch, so I was sitting there kind of watching the music video, watching him interact with everyone, and it was just a very emotional experience. He's been through a lot. We have waited for a really long time, and you know, I never really thought I would get to see him in person like this, or even let alone even meet him, you know. So it was definitely when it was started to sink in that he was actually there and that we were going to meet him and be able to talk to him. It was, yeah, I got a little bit emotional. He stayed strong, built a career for himself. That's really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed our little story time, and it's not that much footage and it's not that long of a vlog either, but it was just our experience and we wanted to document it because, you know, when else do you get to meet your idols? Just from hearing their stories, I live vicariously through them, and we wanted to end our vlog with fist bumping Seunghan. Sad hand.
Yeah, because it was this hand. I'm not crazy, by the way. We're
all not crazy, by the way.
It was this hand. I hand sanitized the inside when we were.
Okay,
whatever, you know, it's fine. Okay,
we're gonna fist bump now.
Okay, but hold it so I can do it to myself. Okay, thank you. Good night.